Arizona, as you've heard, is facing a near total ban on abortion after a landmark decision by the state Supreme Court there. Now, this will be the 18th state to severely restrict abortion rights in this country after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. We're joined now by Arizona Governor, that's Katie Hobbs, who joins us this morning. Governor Hobbs, thank you so much for your time. I know you have a lot going on this morning, so we'll get right to it. You called yesterday's decision a dark day in Arizona. I've heard people use the phrase, it's like, is this Handmaid's Tale come to life in real life? How should we all be processing this? What are you thinking?
Well, I can tell you that Arizonans across the state are reeling from this devastating decision that reinstates a near total ban, a ban that was passed in 1864, before Arizona was even a state, before women had the right to vote.
Before women could vote.
It's a ban a ban with no exceptions for rape or incest, no consideration for complications in pregnancy, and will require jail time for doctors. There's
Governor Hobbs, we've heard what it is. I'm just curious about what do we do now? Even Kari Lake, who challenged you for your for the governor's race during the last election, has come out against it. Are you talking to your top legislative leaders? What are you trying to do to make sure this does not actually happen?
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a devastating decision that will have huge consequences. And I immediately called on our legislature to repeal this ban. They could do that today. They could gavel in today and make a motion to repeal this ban. And they should do that. I'm hopeful that they will. Because this will have devastating consequences for Arizona. But Arizonans will also have a chance in November to enshrine the right to abortion in our state's constitution with a ballot measure. And I'm confident that when they have the chance to do that, they will. And folks can join us at ArizonaForAbortionAccess.org.
Governor, I want to get into that ballot initiative and the politics of this, particularly come November, because that's a very big deal. But on the question of what to do right now, do you support a 15-week ban that your predecessor signed that was the law there in Arizona before this court ruling?
Well, that's the ban that will be in place if the 1864 ban is struck down. But Arizonans don't support extreme abortion bans, and this 15-week ban is still extreme. Again, no exception for rape or incest, no regard for complications of pregnancy. That's what will be in place. And again, Arizonans will have the ability to weigh in on this with a constitutional amendment in November.
So it sounds like you're saying repeal the 1864 law and go back to the 15-week ban until November when you want to push it to the voters.
Absolutely, yes.
So this, the health complications and the women's right to access, all that is important. I want to put it to one side, though, for a question to just ask politically. Bottom line, is this advantageous for Democrats strategically, politically, with the White House, the Senate, and Congress potentially on the line with Arizona's outcome in November?
I can tell you that today I'm not thinking about the political consequences of this. I'm thinking about the danger that the circumstances we're in right now pose to women across the state of Arizona. Certainly, people are outraged, and this will motivate them in November. But not only is the presidency and Congress and Senate on the line, our entire legislature is up for grabs this November, and every single Republican in the legislature right now voted to put a fetal personhood bill on my desk that fortunately I was able to veto, but it would have opened the door to an Alabama-style ruling banning IVF in Arizona, and every single Republican celebrated the Dobbs decision in 2022, which paved the way for the ruling that came out yesterday.
Governor, a couple of questions before we let you go. Vice President Kamala Harris will be visiting Arizona following this ruling. Have you talked to the White House about this?
I have spoken with the vice president and thanked her for her leadership on this. And I appreciate everything the White House is doing. We have to ensure that Americans and Arizonans have access to abortion care. Bans like Arizona's will restrict necessary health care, and the fight is not over for sure.
You know, Governor, when the interview first started, you used the word reeling. I think a lot of people are feeling that way. How did it come to this? I think many people who woke up and heard this news yesterday and woke up this morning and heard more of it are thinking this was a civil war that was around during the Civil War.
Yeah.
Women couldn't even vote. How does this happen in 2024 in your state with you at the helm?
I mean, we've seen decades of restrictions moving their way over the last several years, and when this 15-week ban that's currently that was in place before yesterday was passed, the crafters of that legislation anticipated the Dobbs decision, and when Dobbs was decided, it triggered the 1864 ban to be reinstated. They wanted this, and they knew it would happen. And so it's been in court for the last year plus, but we knew that we were one bad court decision away from this happening. The 15-week ban was passed and signed under my predecessor. It would have never happened on my watch.
Governor, thank you for joining us. We know that you have a lot on your hands right now. We appreciate you.